Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tipoff 2025-2026. This is our first show of the year. I'm Newcastle News Sports Editor Ron Poniewasz, joined by Mr. Larry Kelly, a member of the Luxembourg, Garbett, Kelly & George law firm, an assistant baseball coach at Penn State Shenango, and former Shenango varsity baseball coach. Larry, before I go any further with the introduction, you tell me, are you on Larry, or are you on Ralph Blundo's staff?
I'm kind of retired, Ronnie. You know what I mean? I've been really busy, haven't been able to be around. Yeah, I'm probably I'd say I'm retired from that position at this point in time. Anyway, I still got that day job, and I still have clients who care a little more about how their case is going than how the Newcastle basketball team's going.
Right. Okay. All right. So for our segments this week, we're going to tell you about a young lady that's really playing well for her team. Then we'll have another segment. It'll be the Red Hurricane Minute. Larry will tell you what he knows about the Newcastle boys basketball team. And then finally, we have some secondary topics that we'll get into. But first off, we have Neshannock High girls basketball player Jaidon Nogay is our athlete of the week. She's a senior 5'8" guard, and a lot of people will remember her for her softball talents, and we'll get into, we'll certainly see those talents coming up here in another couple months. But right now, she's a basketball player, and a very good one at that. 20 points in an 82-10 win over Shenango, 21 points in a 72-35 win over Central Valley, and 8 points in a 58-35 win over Grove City.
Didn't she have a couple sisters that played at Neshannock?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Nogay sisters have been special at Neshannock High School. Was it two other sisters that she had who were fabulous athletes, as I recall?
Erilyn and Nalia, I believe, are her sisters. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Luann's going to win a lot of games as long as she hasn't one of the Nogay girls around. And, Jaidon's just another example of the excellence that has come out of that family. I'm guessing 20 points in an 82-10 win. She probably only played about a quarter and a half, and maybe played the whole game in a 72-35 win. And against Grove City to only have 8, either she didn't play or they doubled her every time she touched the ball. She's a special athlete, certainly worthy of Athlete of the Week. I think that's an award her sisters have won several times throughout the years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the 58-35 win over Grove City, the final score can be, in a way, misleading. And you're going to wonder, well, what's he mean, 23 points? But Neshannock outscored Grove City in the fourth quarter, I believe, 22-2. So it was a very close game going to the final quarter.
Yeah. And, we were talking about it a little bit off air. There's very few close games anymore in high school basketball. It's the difference in talent that goes out onto the court in these games is somewhat surprising to me. I mean, very few 1 or 2 possession games anymore, and that's especially true in the women's game and the men's game. I mean, Newcastle High School, the boys, it's an excellent team, maybe one of the best ones we had in several years. But they're all double-digit victories. Very few of them go down to the last several minutes of the game. And I think that's true at all levels in both the men's and the women's game. And I wish I knew why.
Yeah. Well, Jaidon Nogay had quite a week, 3 games, 2 of them over 20 points. And certainly, as you mentioned, when she was held to 8 points against Grove City, they probably had some sort of a gimmick defense, against her in that. But still, what do you got? 49 points in 3 games. That's quite a week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's quite a week. And she'll probably have several more of those weeks before the season's over. As I said, Jaidon is just following the footsteps of her sisters who were tremendous athletes, 2-sport athletes, all of them at Neshannock, because I know they all play softball too.
Right. And that season's coming up. It'll be here before you know it. You just wouldn't know it by looking out the window and saying it's 6 degrees outside, but it's coming.
Yeah, the Penn State Nittany Lions, Shenango Valley campus, we start practice next week. So Yeah, and most of the baseball teams in the area have been inside taking some swings. So, yeah, believe me, warm weather can arrive soon enough, Ronnie. I'm not a cold weather guy, brother.
Right. And that'll be soon, as you mentioned. But not only that, you guys will probably be inside for that too, because it's supposed to be pretty cold next week too.
Oh no, right? You can't. In this climate, and unless you have an artificially turfed field, if you get outside two or three times before the season starts, you're lucky. You really are. It's not only the weather; it's the field conditions. Unless you're my man Johnny Q up at Neshannock, he has a snow plow out there to plow the snow away. He has his boys out there in February. Oops, I shouldn't say that because we're not allowed to start practice until March.
Right. Yeah. Well, Coach Q, that's on Larry Kelly. I'm just an innocent bystander here. All right. Jaidon Nogay is our athlete of the week, so we congratulate her for that. And the Red Hurricane Minute, led by Larry Kelly, will be coming up next, so don't go away.
Neshannock has Jaidon Nogay. Jaidon is our athlete of the week. She had quite a week. She started off with a 20-point win and an 82-10 section win over Shenango. Obviously, talk about that game first.
Well, that game was pretty fun for all of us. We had a slow start, but we really brought it together, I think, around halftime.
Then he had 21 points and a 72-35 non-section win over Central Valley. Talk a little bit about that game, doing another 20 points.
Central Valley was definitely, I think, one of the better teams we played in our past couple games, so that was kind of difficult to begin with. But.
And then you helped win in the Ron Galbraith Classic against Grove City. You supplied 8 points there. Talk about that game.
Grove City was difficult for all of us. We definitely had a slow start that game. It was close for a while, but we pulled away.
We're back with you here on Tip Off, and Larry Kelly's going to tell you all about the Newcastle High boys basketball team in the Red Hurricane Minute. Prior to turning them loose, Newcastle is 8-0 in Section 1 6A. However, they are playing tonight at Woodland Hills, and they're 14-0 overall. So as we film this, Newcastle is probably getting ready to take the court in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, you know what, Ronnie, I was around for the first about 7 games this year, and I can tell you maybe the best defensive team that I've watched at Newcastle, and I've been around for 16 years. They guard the ball as well as any team that I've watched. Their weak side defense, very few people get beat off the dribble because our guards are so quick and athletic. But if they do, that weak side help is there to step in. They're defensive clinics right now at Newcastle, and I think that speaks volumes about why the Hurricane are undefeated at this point in time. Quite frankly, in the section they play, and it's going to be a tough game at Woodland Hills because they seem to play us tough. That's one team in the section that can match our athleticism, but I don't see anybody else in that section beating us. I just don't. The only thing that somewhat concerns me is that we shoot a lot of three-pointers, Ronnie. And, you live and die by that three-point shot. Now, we got great three-point shooters. It's everybody in that lineup. The 5 guys that take the floor can hit threes. And we shoot them well. But, sometimes when I look at the box score, and I can't remember the last one I saw, I think we had 9 three-pointers, and we shot 5 foul shots. That concerns me a little bit because, if you're running good offense, you're getting the ball in the paint. And if you're getting the ball in the paint, you're probably going to the foul line. It's not that we don't run good offense. We do, but we take a lot of threes. Sometimes we're just not as patient as we should be. But Kai Cox, I can tell you, I don't know that I've ever seen a freshman and sophomore at Newcastle in the last 16 years who's been a better player than him. And that's saying a lot because we've had some great, great players come through that program. And then you add to that Marino Graham, he's a ninth grader. The poise that he shows is way above his years. Damian Harrison just hit his 1,000th point. Chase Lemon, if there's a tougher guy in Western Pennsylvania, I want to meet him. And then you have our two big guys inside, Jaden Schaefer and Quaylen Davis. They do everything right. You know, they're not big scorers, but they defend, they take charges, they rebound, they do everything right. So you add all of that together, and you got 14-0, buddy. That's what I see.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down on my notes. Damian Harrison, currently going into Tuesday's game at Woodland Hills, has 1,012 points. He had 221 through the North Hills game on the season, and he had 92, from what I'm told, at Kennedy Catholic. And then I don't have my figures in front of me, but it's somewhere in the 300s, maybe a 354 and a 335, I think, were the other 2 years. Memory served me, but I don't have that readily in front of me, but I do know he's at 1,012 going into the Woodland Hills game.
Yeah, he's a 1,000-point scorer. And that says something in high school basketball. You can score 1,000 points, you're a tremendous player. So they're 14-0, maybe the best defensive team that I've seen, and I've been around that team since 2010. I mean, they're holding teams to under 50 points almost every game. And that's hard to do in high school basketball. I mean, some teams are scoring 35. They have a hard time getting to 40. And again, it has a lot to do with the way we guard the ball. Our guards are so quick. And if they do happen to get beat, again, our weak side help, our weak side defense is as good as I can remember. So the Red Hurricanes real, Ronnie. They're real. I don't know who's going to beat us in 6A. I mean, I understand Central Catholic is good and Upper St. Clair is good again. But if they're going to beat the Red Hurricane, they better be really good because this is a good team.
We all know there's an advantage to playing at home, to being the home team. At LGKG, we've been your home team personal injury attorneys for auto accident and workers' compensation cases for over 90 years. We know what works and how to win. We have all the credentials. At LGKG, we don't take every case. We handpick our clients so that we can give you the attention you deserve.